It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Good morning, everyone. This is Gary Kayye and
Steph Beckett, and it's Wednesday. It's 9 a.m. So that means we are here on rAVe TV talking to you about all of the news and everything that's come up in the past week in Pro AV and also Home AV.
And yeah, we should say Home AV because CEDIA is coming up in about a month and a half. And we are excited to be a big part of CEDIA. We'll talk about that in just a second. Yeah. But this is the industry's only live weekly news show. We come to you live on ravepubs.com every Wednesday at 9 a.m. and then we restream it at noon. This is to benefit our partners in California and Europe to make sure that they can watch this live, depending on where they're located.
Yep.
And also it's streamed on youtube.com /ravepubs, obviously, Instagram. Well, actually, no, not Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever it's called now, LinkedIn and Facebook. Steph.
And on the rAVe Pub site.
Yeah, that's right, on ravepubs.com. So you were telling me before the broadcast that you're going to see Twister today in 4DX.
Yes. So I don't know. I feel like you and I talk about movies a lot, but I don't know if like those who watch are as into films as we are. So for those who don't know, 4DX it's in Regal theaters, but not all of them. So it's like the opportunity to go in, watch your movie in 4D. So essentially you're seeing, you're hearing, but then there are like other things that happen for the senses. So like they'll pump out smells, they'll pump out fog, and also your chair is haptic. So it also moves with the content. And it hasn't historically been super popular. I think the last most popular film to see in 4DX was last year, and it was Mario. But now that Twisters is in theaters, it's kind of like the perfect film to see this in, because I've watched so many TikToks about this. People are shaking and quaking because like you're essentially in the Twister yourself, and it also like sprays you with water. So I'm going with a few coworkers later today, and I'll let you guys know what it's like.
Because it is a good movie to experience that way, right? Because you're going to be more in the action. You know, I can't imagine Mario doing anything for anyone that way, but I could imagine, you know, the Star Wars series, you know, big blockbuster films where you have a lot of action would be cool. And Twisters, I think, would be really good because of the wind and the scenes inside the yeah.
So we the three of us who are going, we've been so excited since Monday to do this. So I will let you know how it is, Gary.
I'm excited for it. It's not a movie I would see normally. No, right?
I was going to wait.
Give me a reason to see it. So if it's really good, Steph, I will go because I like the experience, right?
Yes. And me too. I wasn't going to go because I was like, this is a movie that I can just watch when it comes on streaming. But then I saw everyone doing this like 4DX experience. And I was like, okay, no, actually, I have to do this.
That's totally Gen X or Gen Z of you.
Thank you. Oh, it makes me feel so young.
Hey, we have CEDIA. We just mentioned CEDIA. We have CEDIA coming up and CI Expo. So basically, it's two shows co-located in one. CEDIA, of course, is famous. It's been around for 30. It's about, I think, the 29th or 30th year of the show. Oh, wow. It's September 5th, 6th, and 7th. We're going to be there to cover it live. We're going to bring reporters there, videographers there. Steph and I will both be there. We'll do our show live each day during the show. We'll do our rAVe TV live each day during the show as well. And it's in Colorado. So if you're in the area, California, Colorado, Nevada, all those states there, consider registering. We're dropping the link now. And of course, you can scan that QR code and register, or anything we talk about today. If you scan that QR code, if you're watching this on your laptop, just grab your phone, scan the QR code. All the links will appear there. And I'm going to talk to you at the end of the show about the Pro AV Symposium. I think that's something that everybody should go to. But yeah, consider signing up. I'm excited to be heading to Denver. And really, there's nothing else going on in the fall. So it's a good reason to go.
Exactly. I'm excited. And if you scan the QR code and register for either show, it gets you into both. So they're both on the same show floor. One Commercial Integrator Expo is a little more geared toward commercial, light commercial, resi-mercial, whereas CEDIA Expo is what you know and love, all home AV. So we're excited to cover both, and we think you should go and see both.
Yeah, the residential one is a lot of fun. And the commercial one, by the way, is nothing at all like Infocom. People are like, is this a different? It's not at all. It's very different. It's very niche. I think you'll enjoy. I mean, the CEDIA side, of course, I love.
Oh my God, yeah.
A lot of 8K stuff. You'll probably see a lot of content from the Olympics since that's being shot, recorded in 8K. So I think we'll see some really cool stuff at that show this year because of the Olympics content.
I'm always like shopping when I go.
Yeah, see the Olympics has technically already started, Steph. Our basketball team has barely won the first 2 games. So I don't know if they're going to win. The men's basketball team's barely won. The women's are killing it. But I don't know if the men's are going to win or not, because I feel like they're not taking it seriously or they're not as good as they used to be, because they won both games at the last minute.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm excited about the Olympics for the swimming. Of course, as you know, I like swimming.
And I watch gymnastics usually.
Yeah, I mean, Simone Biles, her comeback story has got to be like one of those amazing things that's going to be talked about a lot during the Olympics.
She's incredible.
Yeah, and of course, we have at UNC, we have like 16 athletes that are in the Olympics. One of them is the diver who's won the national championship 3 years in a row, and she will be representing Mexico on the Olympic team. And I'm really excited for her because I know a lot of swimmers and divers are in my classes, and it's been fun to go watch her, and she just dominates everything. And there's there's swimmers and there's lacrosse players, there's field hockey players, of course, basketball. So there's a lot of reason for us here in Chapel Hill to watch. But in the meantime, as you know, Shure bought a company called Stem, and Stem is part of Shure's ecosystem now, and they have their own sort of like system in a box solution. And I think we want to talk about this a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I think we got a video. Let's show it.
So to help us talk about the next story that we have invited Mike Garvey, who is SVP Federal Sales and Operations at Avispl. First of all, Mike, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you very much for the invitation. I enjoyed the initial stories about the Olympics. I'm a big fan of the Olympics as well.
Nice.
I've never been to an event that you're going to have with Twisters coming up, so I'd like to know how it goes, Steph.
Okay, I will be sure to let you know what that's like. Well, we invited you on because Avispl had some pretty big news yesterday. So basically what happened is your federal practice team was selected as the subcontractor by General Dynamics Information Technology to support its $922 million U.S. Central Command Information Technology Services modernization contract. So first of all, congratulations. That is awesome.
Over what period of time is that, Mike?
It is a 1-year base with 5 option years. The previous
so the 922 is going to be spent in 1 year?
Oh no, sir. Yeah, well,
okay.
It's that's the overall ceiling. So it's 1 year, 5 base years.
Okay.
But the previous prime contractor had the contract for 15 years. So we anticipate we'll have it the same amount of time.
Well,
awesome.
I'll tell you, it's amazing. It's got to be the largest single signed contract in our industry. I've been in the industry a long time. I've never seen a contract that large.
It's pretty large. We're excited about it. So
yeah. So I wanted to first talk about why is this contract such a big deal, not only for you guys, but for the greater AV industry?
Yeah, I mean, the contract is huge for us. We partnered with GDIT on this contract. We've been working on the capture for over a year. Contract was awarded in February. We just now got to a point where we got all of the approvals for the DoD and for GDIT for the press release. So press release hit yesterday. Thanks very much for picking it up. We're grateful for us. The reason it's so big for Avispl is that our federal practice is recognized and continue to be recognized by the large system integration community, not only as an AV company for project-based type of programs, but these larger system integrator community for our capabilities that we have to execute these programs globally. We also have a deep bench of certified CTS, CTSD, CTSI SMEs that are cleared to be able to, that are required by these DoD programs to execute this type of work and capabilities globally.
Very cool.
And
what type of
let me just mention something about that.
Go ahead, Gary.
Because I'm a big advocate of the CTS program and was on the committee that created the CTS program, or brought it back, I should say, in the late 90s, early 2000s. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for putting the effort into that, because that's a lot. But also it means that you're going to raise the level of quality and assurance, not just on the install, but on the support of the project. Because I imagine these kind of things are going to require command centers for the command center. Like you're going to have like support for support, because all these command centers are going to require support, and that's going to be run by CTS professionals.
That is accurate. And we have, I believe in our AVISP portfolio, anywhere between 800 to 1,000 of these CTS certified engineers across the globe.
That's awesome. And when you're doing projects like this, like big projects like this, I'm sure that it provides such a peace of mind to know that a lot of these engineers, a lot of these integrators they have like a certain basis, a baseline of education that they have. So I'm sure that like provides a lot of like, okay, great, this is gonna go really smoothly. So what kind of projects is AVISPL going to help support within this contract? Like what kind of stuff are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's a large portfolio. It's on-site managed services, where we have the SMEs that are on-site, part of the staff, supporting the military staff, supporting GDIT, working by them every day alongside with answering the mission, responding to the mission. AV design engineering expertise, AV technology, digital signage, collaboration, to Gary's point, command and control spaces, meeting and training spaces, and special use spaces.
So like basically everything.
Yes, ma'am. Anything to do with audiovisual and collaboration.
Awesome. So I want to go back to command and control, because I still feel like that is something where AV has not quite enveloped it as like part of greater AV. Some of us are still, I think, seeing it as like, that's not quite us. But do you think that projects and contracts like this will help solidify the importance of these types of installs as a big facet and an important facet of the AV industry?
Absolutely. I mean, I think traditionally the industry has looked at AV as a conference room or a display on a wall or a touch panel on a table or video conferencing, but it's much more than that. Inside of AVISPL, we have a group that's called XTG. It's our experiential technology group. You probably heard of that group, Steph. You probably have spoken to Julian on several occasions about that. We use that type of technology and that experience and their portfolio of SMEs in these command and control environments. So these environments are essential to the situational awareness capabilities for the Department of Defense. It also is a time where the AV industry and the IT industry align portfolios and technology that allows seamless communications across the military leadership, strategic vision, decision-making capabilities for effective coordination and synchronization of military operations globally. This is an area where you've got specialized seating, large video walls, secure spaces, in these environments. So AV is essential, and now it's brought in early as again a mission critical tool set, not a nice to have technology.
Yeah, 100%. I think I really agree with you. I think that this contract in particular is going to really help, and going to help further contracts see that, we should really bring AV in. Like this should be like kind of a beginning of the thing conversation instead of oh no, this building's already built and it's not built in a way that we should be able to bring AV in, but I don't know, they'll figure it out. Like I 100% agree with you.
Another quick thing about this, I know we want to wrap it up, but that's interesting is that if you go back in the history of our industry, there's been a lot of cases where the government decided to try to do this stuff on their own. And I think this shows that they now realize that there's value in the experts that are out there, like you, Mike, specifically. I mean, you have a history of this and you understand this segment of the market rather than trying to do it internally. And the internal thing was a security thing, but now obviously your team will have security clearances and things like that. So I think this shows well for our industry. And of course, command and control's like the very top of our industry. It is the pinnacle of the pro AV industry. So yeah, we wanted to have you on. Congratulations. I think it's great for our industry. I mean, I know that your competitors out there are like, what the heck? Like, why would you, this is all boats are going to rise. The whole industry is going to rise from stuff like this. And, you deserve personal kudos, Mike, for being a big part of this. And, thanks to Kelly and your team there for letting you come on and talk about this stuff. So yeah,
greatly appreciate the time, and this is one of many to come.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you. So we have a message from Aver. As you know, we have 3 big sponsors of rAVe TV that basically don't tell us to say anything. They just want to make sure we give them some exposure. And one of those is Aver, and they're because of these 3 companies, they allow us to do those shows live on the show floor and these weekly shows. And they actually have a sort of a white paper / guide for creating the perfect conference room setup. With practical tips and expert advice, design ideas. It's all in their hub of information on their website. If you scan the QR code or look at the link that we're dropping now on social media, you can check that out yourself. So support them for supporting us. We really appreciate their support. And hey, Steph, did you see that we now have the first line of projectors that are branded Sharp? I mean, we've never really, Sharp hasn't really been in the projector market, but since they purchased or merged with NEC, it's now Sharp. And it's interesting. The first segment they went after is budget projectors, mainly aimed at K through 12, higher ed, and small meeting room applications. It's funny to me because I was looking at the specs as I was looking at this story of these projectors, 4,000 ANSI lumens, single chip DLP, and the resolution options that they have for the price, starting at like $1,500. 5 years ago, these would be considered high-end projectors. But now they're budget projectors because of the price. It's amazing how far our industry has come, and it's exciting to see. So yeah, all that's on our website now because that's a new thing for them. And
that reminds me of a question I've been wanting to ask you. Have you seen a projector with a lamp in it, like in the?
No, back? I mean nobody's making lamp-based projectors. Biggest, I mean you can't even go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy incandescent lights anymore, right?
They're all laser.
Got rid of them, right? So instead of paying 12 to 15 cents for a light bulb, now we're paying $3 to $8 for a light bulb. So we can thank our government for that, but I guess the long-term benefit of that is sustainability.
Right.
But I mean, I will tell you this: I am already changing out LED light bulbs. So even though they're spec'd to last like ungodly amounts of time, 10,000 to 100,000 hours, they are not lasting any longer than incandescent. So I don't understand what is going on here, because LED lights should last a long time, and my bulbs that I'm screwing into lamps and replacing in my bathroom are not lasting that long.
Those don't last long for you?
No, I'm already having to change them after 3 years, and that's doesn't make any sense because they're spec'd at 10 to 20,000, and of course they say you can bring them back as long as you have your receipt. Who keeps the receipt for everything they buy at Home Depot and Lowe's and light bulbs? I mean, like.
But that has not happened to me specifically, because I have had the same LED bulb in a lamp since college. And
that is impressive. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Actually, by the way, that's how it's supposed to be. But I don't know.
And it's been a while since I was in college.
Of course, there's no lamp-based projectors anymore because we're not allowed to sell those anymore. But in any case, I would love to get your update on the Microsoft Teams trial. Steph's been doing this great thing every month by keeping us up to date. And of course, we report the month's news for Teams. It's all about Teams, right? That's the big, giant UC platform the month after. So here's everything that happened in June being reported in July. Because someone was asking us when we did this last, like, why are you doing it a month? Like, because we got to wait for the month to end.
Yeah.
And then put everything together. So.
Yeah. So they come out with everything for the previous month, and then they like round it up in their own internal PowerPoint deck.
Yeah.
And then they give that to me for the previous month.
We are grateful that they are giving us this information. So Steph, what are the major things that they introduced in June of 24?
Yes. So there are a few things that I just in particular thought were cool, and they weren't like huge changes, but they're going to make life a lot easier for Teams users. So first, they have this new functionality for Meet Now in group chat. You've previously, if you were in a group chat on Teams talking to people, you could not just start an ad hoc meeting, which seems crazy that they're just now coming out with that, but now you can. So there's just a quick option for like, okay, meet now. If you didn't plan on having a meeting, but you're talking with two of your coworkers, and it's just easier going to be for y'all to do that over video chat, there's a quick way for you to do that now. There's also a new Copilot for Sales plugin that integrates Copilot sales functionality into your meetings. This is going to help you quickly pull metrics, insights, and other things for efficient sales meetings. Meeting organizers can now control attendee access to recordings, transcripts, and AI insights. So your access can include everyone, organizers and co-organizers, or you can choose just specific people in the meeting to have access for the transcript. And then another thing that is small, but it is also big. Meeting presenters now have a movable presenter toolbar during presentations. So I don't know if you've ever presented before, but if you just have that annoying toolbar that's in your way and you can't read part of your deck, it's going to be annoying. And now you have the option to like move it down, move it around on your screen. So that is going to be another big update and like one that you're going to use a lot. Another one is you have the ability to now mute yourself on a Teams call from the Windows taskbar. So if you use a Windows, like you use a PC, it's up at the very top. When you have a Teams meeting open, you can just quickly go and mute yourself at the top. If you have a bunch of windows open, you don't have to go back and find Teams. It's just going to make it really easy. The final one that I want to talk about is Microsoft Mesh. Gary, do you know what this is?
I do not.
So this is a cloud-based platform for collaboration and mixed reality. It's Microsoft's version of this. So people in different locations using different devices, they can leverage Microsoft 365 and collaborate in a shared immersive space. So Microsoft began to roll this out to Mac users. It was already available to PC users, but Mac users in June. Some of the functionality of Mesh is now available in public preview, including a space for workshops, brainstorming sessions, employee orientations, like those kind of things where it helps to be like a step closer, a step more immersive than being in a Microsoft Teams meeting. So there are a bunch of updates that they're rolling out for that soon, but for now you can get an avatar by taking or uploading a photo of yourself, and then the like AI-based technology will craft an avatar for you. So I've been meaning to go and try that and then like come back and report on like how well it works.
Yeah, you should definitely do that. That would be fun.
Or if it makes my photo like the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. So
all that is on ravepubs.com. If you go to our website, you can see that. Scan the QR code, go straight to the article, and just type in Microsoft Teams or Teams in this video in the search bar, and you'll find that article. Every month, Steph does a wrap up. We've been doing that since almost the beginning of the year, so this is a great way for you to keep up with what's going on with Microsoft Teams. Yep. In other news, Corbett did something interesting. I thought this was an interesting announcement yesterday. So now you can use Corbett's digital signage platform to fill content spaces when using Crestron's AirMedia. So imagine you're using AirMedia as a presentation device and you have it installed in a room so that people can wirelessly share. In between the meetings, Corbett can send digital signage content to it so that you can use it as a digital signage player in between the meetings. I thought that's kind of cool. And what's interesting about Corbett's signage system is that you can actually turn on and off an AI feature so it can go out and find local content to fill the widget. So for example, if you have a widget on local restaurants for information purposes, if it's for internal communication and they're running a special, it'll automatically find that special and pop it on the screen. So that I think is kind of cool. And yeah, so that story is on our website. And our last sponsor of the day, before we get into the last part of our news reporting, is Legrand. And Legrand wants you to watch this video really quickly. It's less than a minute. Check it out. And in news about something you didn't know you need until you need it, there is now a 90-degree Cat 6 cable. Well, Ethernet connectors. You can now get them in 90-degree. Most people are like, "What the heck?" If you dress the back of racks, you'll be like, "Wow, that's cool. That's an interesting," because it's providing automatic strain relief, by the way, right? But also it's going to make dressing the back of a rack easier. It's all from Show Me Cables. That story is on our website, and they have different versions of them. Yeah, Steph, what else we got in the news?
So NSCA elected Dale Botcher as the president and also some new board members too. So he is the executive vice president of global sales and marketing at Avispl, and he's the current NSCA vice president. So he's going to be the president of the board of directors. So congratulations to him. And then they announced that they have some, the rest of their board of directors. So it's going to be Mike Botcher from Edge, Chris Reese from ASW, Gina Sansevero from Atlas IED, and Steve Greenblatt from Control Concepts. So great board, by the way. So they've got a lot of really, really good people over there. And Dale is great. He's super nice. So wanted to go ahead and congratulate NSCA for that.
And the next story, I'm going to combine two in one, because I wrote the story up about how Biamp has their conference room designer app available now, which allows you to, it's sort of like allows you to virtually design a conference room,
which is cool,
but also calibrate it afterwards. But they also have a classroom designer app as well. Both of those apps are available. Both those stories are actually on our website if you want to go to rAVe and just type in Biamp in the video search. So we have some events coming up on launch that we want to talk about.
Yeah, I just said the two that were like, there's a bunch coming up. So if you want to just look at everything, go to lavnch.com. I just mentioned the two that we have left for this month alone.
Yeah, we have one tomorrow at 2 p.m.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's an install. That's an AV IRL, AV in real life, about an install, a lobby experience install at a resort. So these are like case studies on steroids. You can register for that if you're interested in you have clients that are wanting to do really cool things to meet and greet people as they walk into buildings or hotels or hospitals and places like that. This would be an IRL for you to join. You can get one CTS or CTSD for joining. Again, it's tomorrow at 2 p.m. You can scan the QR code, click the link if you're watching us on social media, or go to lavnch.com. And of course, Steph, there's also a preview for the CIX show coming up, right?
Yes, that is on July 30th, also at 2 p.m. Eastern. This is really exciting because if you are a little bit curious, like, okay, what's the difference between CIX and Infocom? Why is this going to be different? This is where we tell you all of what's going to be there. We talk to people who are going to be there, a few big influencer names in our industry. We talk to a few manufacturers. We preview the technology. This is really just going to give you that little taste of what you can expect on the show floor. So
yeah, and I've done some of those interviews already. Like I did one with Aurora. I did one with Oh my gosh, I've done some. I'm trying to remember who else I've done, but there's been some of the manufacturers that are there. They're just sort of highlighting the products that they're coming out with,
Yeah.
and they're really short. We're putting them all together in one little session for July 30th at 2 p.m. if you're curious about it. And of course, if you can't go to the show, we're going to be there to wrap up the whole show. You'll be able to follow along our show coverage as usual at ravepubs.com. We'll have a link on our website for you to go to each of the microsites, either the CEDIA or the CIX microsite. But yeah, in the meantime, Steph and I will be coming to you live every Wednesday and for the rest of the summer, obviously at 9 a.m. And I want to thank you for joining us. And Steph, enjoy the movie.
Oh, thank you. I will let everyone know how it goes. And we will see you next week. Same time, same place. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary.